video blog, and today I am going to be doing the SCOTUS or the birth charts of some possible picks for the Donald Trump in the next SCOTUS nomination. So I picked 4 people. Of course, there's like a long list, but I think I've got a good idea of who it's probably going to be. Of course, since I've only looked at 4 people, there's definitely a modicum of a disclaimer in here, and also too, I don't have anybody's birth time, so I'm going to be going on transits alone, which is generally okay for mundane astrology, but really it helps to have the exact birth time of people because that gives you a very good idea of which house this is occurring in. And so what we're specifically talking about here is the 10th house, but I'm also going to be looking at some, like I said, some transits and conjunctions in people's charts. So to start it off, we have Brett Kavanaugh. So let's see, Brett Kavanaugh is on the DC Circuit Court, and taking a look at his chart right here, we got a couple of interesting things. So what I'm really looking for right here is the sign of Capricorn and the sign of Cancer. The reason being is that, I'm gonna get the light over here a little bit, because hey, you want to see my nice radiant translucent skin. So what I'm really taking a look at here is the really where the next lunar eclipse and Mars is occurring. So I think that I've noticed that that's actually a theme in most of these, if not all of these charts, is that they actually have planets here in the sign of Capricorn where Mars in the south node of the moon is. So here we have Brett Kavanaugh. This is actually a pretty good chance of this is a strong pick, because if you take a look at his Venus here, Mars is transiting his Venus, and Mercury is also too in the sign of Capricorn. So we have kind of like this dual, kind of like a dual transit going on here, a lot of energy. And if this is actually his 10th house, this is going to be a very good indication of something that's going to happen. Now, another good thing here is we also kind of need to stay in the mind of Trump. Now, people are probably thinking, yeah, he's got a bunch of unicorns dancing around there talking about fake news. But no, really, Donald Trump is a strict constitutional constructionist. So taking a look at this guy's chart, really constructionist, we're looking at Capricorn and Aquarius. You know, Aquarius is kind of odd in Vedic astrology, because in Western astrology it's ruled by Uranus, but in Vedic astrology it's ruled by Saturn. These 2 planets are enemies, actually, in the Greek mythology. So it's kind of weird that, you know, when we take a look at Aquarius in Vedic astrology, he has his Saturn actually in the sign of Aquarius. Now, a stronger placement I would think would be Saturn actually inside the sign of Capricorn here. But really, what I'm taking a look at right here is that lunar eclipse is going to be occurring at 11 degrees of Capricorn. So you want to keep that in mind. It's also going to be conjunct Mars. That's going to be on July 26th. That's going to be one hell of a lunar eclipse. Moving on, Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee, taking a look at his chart also too. Take a look at this. Rahu and Mars also too in the sign of Capricorn. I'm also taking a couple other looks at transits here. So he actually has Jupiter transiting this sign right here in the sign of Libra. So that's generally a boon. But if you take a look at here, Rahu and Mars. So he actually has his Mars almost exalted here in the sign of Capricorn. So we'll just say it is exalted. I think 20 degrees, it's either 10 or 20 degrees is the actual degree of exaltation for Mars in Capricorn. So I'll give him that. He also has Rahu here. So this one also is another very strong pick. We have a very strict constitutionalist here. So if you're not familiar with Mike Lee, he's a junior senator from the state of Utah, also in a very right state, or a very red state. So looking at this, you know, not really as much though as I say Kavanaugh here. Actually, I think Kavanaugh's got a better chance than Mike Lee. All right. So then moving on to somebody else, Diane Sykes from my hometown of Milwaukee, and the wife of radio conservative shock jock Charlie Sykes. Not really a shock jock. He's more of a wiener. You know, I felt like I called Charlie Sykes the wiener just because he's very strange. Anyway. And here I am. All right, so taking a look at her chart, check this out too. Venus and Moon here also too in the sign of Capricorn. So we're actually starting to get an idea of a profile of a conservative judge. We're seeing a lot of planets here in the sign of Capricorn. And then also too, you take a look here. Another good indication is, I wish I could get rid of that stupid bar down there. Another good indication here is you can see down there that Jupiter is going to be transiting, or down here, Jupiter's transiting the sign of Libra, and she's actually getting close to a Jupiter return. So This is another strong pick. All these people are very, very strong picks, okay? Just gonna quick check the comments here, see if we got anything. No, okay. All right, so Diane Sykes, I don't know. So here's my pick. This is the one that I think is gonna happen. Amy Coney Barrett. So the reason why I'm picking her is because she's already been through the nominating process already this year, and she was confirmed on a 55 to 45 vote majority in the Senate. So she's already been grilled on the House, or I'm sorry, is it the House? No, the Senatory Judiciary Committee already grilled this woman. They really put the screws to her, at least the Democrats did, and she was able to weather all of the criticisms in her hearing. So I think this is going to be a very smart pick for Donald Trump because first, she's a woman, second, she's very conservative, and third, she's already been through the process, and fourth, take a look who has her Rahu conjunct the eclipse point. This is the one that's really, I think, is going to be the nominee because the solar eclipse is going to be happening right on her Rahu. But the only difference is Ketu is going to be here, and then Rahu here is going to be close to kind of like this is actually a lunar nodal return for her. So that changes everything for something. I mean, she's already been through a lot this year already, and she was named to the circuit court. But you know, with the Sun and Rahu here, Rahu's all about desire, getting what you want out of life, and all of the good things that you can possibly get. So I am going to pick Amy Coney Barrett as the most likely pick for Donald Trump. Of course, there's a whole bunch of other people out there. There's a list of 25, and I didn't do their charts. So feel free to do their charts and keep an eye on this area of the zodiac. And if you want to do this in Western astrology, just add 25 degrees. All this is going to be going on in the sign of Aquarius. So roughly the same thing. All right. We will see what happens next week, Monday. But, you know, I could probably do a couple more people's chart, too, before the end of the week. I think we have until the 9th before he actually makes his decision. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. And I guess we'll see how this historic pick plays out. Other than that, have a great day. And if you want to book a consultation, all the links are on the front page. Have a good one.